ene Ghana adwumayefo ate atua se Ghana adwumayefo yesi na ye holiday wono munji o ma home efise ene ye May day adwumayefo da omo de omo se da bi da omo ate atua firi se aban no ne omo ani ne ye se obi bet ye adwuma afe ekọ afe ne fa ye onya na katua obi a oye adwuma dada ye yi na di si wonko tena fie obi o hono mpo ese nka qualify se nka ye fa na adwuma ye mfa no de wo mu ya woni konsa pam no ni nyina ya awe hosem a Ghana adwumayefo kire se wo mafam enti ene wo mo NDC aban ene wo mo andi ne ye enti ne na ye mede no a obi a edeji wo mahome omo de nam nsemtwerefo adwumakuo mu omo nam radio station TV stations e bode wuro se ekomo de wo mo amanyofo ofo majapade ne fa enso obi atimi aye adwuma emfie be se aduosia ni kohwe ni sika fia te sa no manum nanso politician betimi aba bedi amanyose mo chi wo mobre bia da owie university a se woni aban no e na e continue afa na adwuma emfie nan onfiri aban mu no onko fie no onya ne ho se tam de wa ye adwuma emfie aduanan ni nya saa de ne kotampo enti na adwuma efo no kire se o matokodo o mabre ti de aban e de ye wo mo no aban ne o ma ani ne ye na no mpo da nchen a Sammy Gyamfi o ye GOLDBOD ene GOLDBOD adwumakuo ibeka so matede pa efrise Ibrahim Mahama ne saka daman mines no ene gold wo matuo no omo de nyina akọ GOLDBOD adwumakuo mu chese omo ka koton ama GOLDBOD adwumakuo daman mines ya nru achi ya yede ma wo mo no gold wo matuo nye gold kuma omo de akọ se omo first gold pour no de omo koton e de aman GOLDBOD na omo de omo se Bank of Ghana de abetu dwa se Ghana boka surusuru 1 year nie be 15.6 billion Ghana cedi wo mu se enema bebre no na GOLDBOD adwumakuo no ba yenso so no eye de aboa wo mo na yenso so ebesi ne ye hu ne so e do hawo na aba ye ne kan hwe Sammy Gyamfi ne GOLDBOD hu sensem ne ewie nyantobo ase ne ti akuafo se do mo si atoto bi dia man disi aban e wo hwe a won hwe o mu ye a ene mede wo no mo kire se o mo de o mo te atua ma da ro ma like me video yi mame na share afefo adwenkyere nso so bra
enra engineers and planners automatic over the mine said edi kan edi ato edwa no na gold wa edi kan a omo enya no large scale mining company so gold no about 10% pen on the map by the aka nyina rock ton ho omako refine ho no maji omo dollars so engineers and planners led by Ibrahim Mahama almost omo first gold consignment omo sakan no omo handed nyina over to GOLDBOD Ghana ebetim dia ka gold reserve ho ana say ye ebetim yakoton na say so far so na be dia ebetim so gold nso yetimi refine ne wa ha na say ebema yenye adwuma ye wa ha nsa na dia ko
bi PMMC
yeah
oma eye ne kama de asa me ka se sana eti se ne ni na be she gold bo aka ne no na nke yeko
enti yekoti ebra hand over gold ye edema lawyer Sammy Gyamfi you are the CEO of GOLDBOD and some of kind fanfa so a ye benya fi so gina so sre other large scale mining companies so omo hwede EMP for aye na omo nso nye bi e ma Ghana ye build reserve na yesika sem nko ye se mu to gold ni nyina na mu de nyina akọ na ya ye pupu obo yesu no ye resu kachi into the console.
For those, this is also a vindication for those of us who made all manner of mischief about the legitimate acquisition of this diamond mine by EMP. I mean, this is your vindication right here. This, we've never seen anything like this on the part of any major large-scale mining company. And that is not to spite them. Of course, they are not Ghanaians, so you know they don't need a Ghana city. Yeah. But when you have a Ghanaian at the helm of affairs of a large-scale mining company, he's okay if the Bank of Ghana and the GOLDBOD says, sell your gold to us, we'll pay Ghana cedis. We are not paying dollars for this. We are paying cedis, and the gold will stay here. And then we can sell the gold for dollars, or we can keep the gold in our reserves. And generations after generations will come and benefit from that. The fact that we are getting 110 kilogram of gold from Diamond Gold Mine. And this is just the first output. Many more will come. But that is not the real excitement, you know. The real excitement is this. Even with the small portion that we've been getting from large-scale mining companies since 2022, many people don't know. But that gold is not given to the Bank of Ghana or the PMMC now GOLDBOD in Ghana. That gold is sent outside the country refined in refineries outside the country, and then sold to Ghana in a form of bullion, refined gold. So we don't get to refine the gold in our own country to retain that value. The refining fees here, the refining charges end up in multinational banks outside Ghana. Now, the reason why this is a game changer, that this gold has come in a form of Dory, raw gold. We will assay it here. We can and will refine it in Ghana. So the refining charges will stay here. If we buy it, the silver is ours, it will stay here. We will decide what to do with the silver. And this will not only lead to reserve accumulation, but also create jobs and many other opportunities for Ghanaians. And so this is why we think the media must begin a conversation about the contribution of large-scale mining companies to reserve accumulation and local value retention. It is about time we had that conversation and got a commitment from large-scale mining companies to do more than they have done over the years. 10% is definitely not enough. If they can't beat this, if they can't match this 100%, at least 30, 40, 50% will give us the kind of returns we need as a country. Thank you very much.
Right, we lawyer Sammy Gyamfi ya CEO that GOLDBOD no ebrenra wamonsa eka sikakoko yi free engineers and planners led by Ibrahim Mahama ho se companies no gold no omutua dodo no a omdeko 10% pe omde maye no nkata niwa na se etimi anya gold bi sei na se nka abeboa Ghana nke beboa ye papa fi se enya we na ebetimi dia kan reserve ho na dachi bi gold boy dia ya ton ebetimi so agye ne yakoton in dollars no so enya bi na yede aba na yede abebo omeyo bread to say other large scale mining companies no say the EMP aye omonso hwe no munsua bi na omonso de no muntu fa ni nyina enko so e mining company akese o Ghana na gold no tun so omo twi bi kopa
enrechi ya na GOLDBOD for be kan say omo revenue ekosro
a triple
nti we so abeka ho de ekonanim kakra na say de lawyer esre omo maka no de bi bekeka ho a watu anamo panti obia ento aso bi say na profo keka ho asem na de ama EMP na den de say o ma ya ade o ebi anka ko ba bi fofora na anka entimi
malam so ye ni mayen gold no ma hihye no adaka ayifu adaka no tilapia fo no adaka no mo de tilapia gum
bota catch fo no
kese pa o say ye tamba ko de mawa na bibi ba so sa gold obenya bia maye
eza any point enko dwa
na bibi ba say 100 we say 110 kilograms of gold and omo hand over anti gugu nakam e peja daka we ba ko mawa
opanga he hu adwem
sorry no pa
ka ma bio
gam sorry no pa betrebi
sa da tetio so na go down ma
that na akra nim se bi nya daka we ba ko a go da daka we ba ko a
ka be na ni sesia ananka be ko wo man wa pone kakra
okay so me ko check in value wi a na me hu de be ye akose minya dware wi a na me de be ye akose se be che mienu ana me na ni nyina to
but is that time ye wo dia is wo there
abeya wo dia ye peja we wutimi peja wo me se gold mood pa to he
peja ye kukuru
rubber boxes de sisi ho no a ye ka se peja ba ko osisi mbete
ye peja ye kukuru
untimi very good anyway
of abrante be the message be aba FM say interview audi kan ye na so of Kofi Apia good morning me chia wo ne wabedwafo me ameka say me achechefo a yentua o mo kan me ka ho ye frame Edube Queen Erasmus what say we teacher ampa say name first was wo wie university 2023 na oye upgrading na wanya ne upgrading letter but ye in place in wo payroll so as a principal superintendent 3 years ni nya de anensa aka ne sika so
fiemiensa wala so achra de
we be say the nuts leaders are enjoying at the top so they don't care about we the masses on the field. God bless our homeland.
Oh, but I said your penny
because be in charge of salaries.
One can ma omo ko omo ye omo ye ntu omo ka omo emfa omo nyina no waka wo nyina de so I don't think say
you on my forming opinion that
I'm not saying that say union so be na opinion say penifo na tesoro no say bibi hia adwumayefo no mko na ye hye obafuru mu asa na o madwen yo say ye hye penifo na dwumpe na o magi mboko.
Okay.
The
leaders of the various labor associations enkanka nat homo nya adwuma bi amoye say ba negotiations ye mo muska no makoma no atum ebu okra ye mo ka
ya se ba be ke
ya samu penini na for mu. Okay, or say the government should have posted 2023 batch of 17,000, but you say or say 7,000. Yeah, 2023, 2024, and 2025. We or say impossible into me. Emma, so
you can say 3 batches in your bomwa. Teachers at Tiffy no enya agro kra.
And so emukuma bi eneko. Doctor Fonso be come de na yahwe. Omo de so musika sem osoro. Kwame na achensia ni abrantie no obo ne message na emmo minim say bibia ye na we say good morning, let me dedicate this workers day to Owusu Nkrumah Bebiu Afurina chama ya Obama NDC na djuma pa wo ye enti ochia obia
we politics
wode wa me ye hwe we say asante ede of a catcher President Mahama ni NDC force where they say asante. Okay, also obisa President Mahama say campaign time no o can say article 71 year constitution no so oba obesesemu nanso ye nte hwe enti ye twen no
article 71 office holder na openi ke so o se ba kwa ketua ebiti we tua Ghana adwumafo nipa be yedunum 15 ti nyina so kodum ba ko.
Okay, also teachers need partial withdrawal from our Senate.
Aye, so I'm Senate nkoye ma omo. All right, adwa me da say my area gold no say na me ka no na say ubetimi apagya ba ha adwa na sisi o no
pagya o ye kukuru
na ubetimi kukuru ubetimi kukuru gold we adaka ba ko
we cry a picture o in reality na be kesi a chense
say na me ka wako asafa ko hu the tilapia for no
we turn 1-1 team
ko okay nti we so fa akwabrane pa no motimi apagya ba ko di wonya we ba akwadaka ba ko kusifia asa
ubeja doctor di
doctor do nya doctor di
za
okakotom fidia bad diagnosis machines ni ade na
wasete apa doctor bi na ufa ko camera ana de oja mfa bi ko camera na fa meto ansem twadwuma
so man kan chiro say me nya ansem twadwuma me se me nya obi adwuma bi o me nya daka ba ko
okay
so ya ho ma che metra abia me na adwuma kora me ye de se me kan chiro ti doctor onya we a wo fidie bi won tim sesia wo dim so de bi bakuma se a odidi so se
onu kwa besi katla
me se wonim dia me kan nyina
doctor kan kwa besi katla bon.
All right, my MFA na officially me introduce doctor na yeni ko Dr. Bernard Hammond ewa ha ona ye dwumtenima Asante Division of Ghana Medical Association a doctor for omo Asante mantem nkamoku no wono ena odano doc ewa kwa ba
yeja
na ho ye de
nyame adum
happy May Day so
same to you senya yedwumafo
ai na adwuma mo te sei
nyame adum ene kakra
sa most me kakra doctors dey can move any problem because mo conditions of service no order to be no dey ho a ana
sanso ne san dey to be mu dey so enye kra so it's always a relative and sure we are stick na dey to ho no and I say yen so ya stick yen so dey beto ho no nso nkoyie kra
what is here ne nuts achechefo di nkomo ya kan Ghanaian workers nyina problems ye femo ye had the general in Ghana in some say motor to kwai kwama no we kra akusu ade kakra bai we say the Ghana adwumafo asetre wote no a it is saying
so I think what we can say back be said the Ghanaian worker is a magician and I think it translates across both private public sector. Because even Gyamfi all the remuneration everything into us here and to change the environment whatever we are doing no we are magicians because no man can come we nya ho cry in my sector for instance nya ho ba or mobile, and they see the kind of things that we try and put together to be able to get the results. Now they are always surprised that
doctor for
yes,
no resource about the year
they are not used to that, so this is always an eye opener. So starting from the environment that it's very telling, and also the insecurity of our jobs. And can na for even for us as doctors and even for nurses who use school me pain for be or use school ne ochina or start ejuma like I say call what how kwa ejuma call consult ma kwa ejuma kwa join this penny we theater who use school na ben doctor for use school wet nefi wo twen
most not heavy
ubet nefi me junior doctors we ejuma sometime September last year, almost Juma March. So there's this huge WIPO is relatively okay for TV. You see, but our sector runs in replenishment. Just a big because for instance, we more G Kofanoche. Yeah, in church into Bumbe more time there should always not be a gap into your more movie medical school fire ho now at net name as you say on the ground. These are the things who I say now be after a year it be back it just say be back a shape as the whole structure falls apart because I say pyramid base everything just falls apart. So they see that supposed job security so medical school we do matter hono
okay remember the training of a doctor.
Okay,
they say him say Kakaneko University na fiancé and be housemanship say and say
okay they see for instance, it's still 6 years of medical training. Or 3 years, I have non-clinical now basic sciences.
And then human biology, no?
Human biology. 2 years or 3 years now. KNUSC Tech for our ball. Or my BSc human biology. Now, if you are transitioning, say, confanoche for another 3 years, and then so we are near my MBCHB. Inteno, yes, it's a degree in clinical medicine and also in surgery. 2 years now be housemanship. The housemanship near for 2 years. 2 years are 2 years now.
The housemanship no
housemanship near so you have done work through the medical training. But housemanship no is in quote an apprenticeship.
Okay.
In Tiafe, no man wishes you know how you are going to apply it on a person.
We did the doctor for Nechi.
Gradually we are assigning you responsibility because we expect that who we are, you should say we bet now any man who need in common. You have an idea of what is going on. When who lab be requested, imagine be requested, you have a diagnosis, what your treatment man back on what on. Of course, it means when you school and you say, you will be able to say, yes, the problem they be better. In 2 years, our housemanship 2 years. 1 year. And I'm being fortunate. As I say, 1 year is inadequate because first, no. Me buy medical school near 6 years, but in being phobia nobody made me about 2 years before, no more 7 years. Into almost everything has been compressed. So you need more of the apprenticeship. Into young increase the apprenticeship need rather to 2 years, so that there will be more hands on under supervision. Because after housemanship, no, in quotes, you are supposed to be able to take care of any patient anywhere until you can work unsupervised. That until our permanent registration, medical and dental council for our permanent registration. Into to make now you can be sued individually. By housemanship, obi air source, in quote master.
I say lawyers pupillage now.
Yes. Into say say issue be about saying your master so your master is going to be held responsible. So that's how they're training us. Until after your housemanship or 1 year, okay, you are now a medical officer. So on having a genuine crime seal. Generally in our specialization programs, after being 2 or 3 years as a medical officer, then you have to apply to start residency, and it's be 3-4 years. 2 years no na fe obi o person to aso then also be another 3-4 years into the whole answer now be wie abe senior specialist in a specific field which are 20 years.
See,
yes, so that's the whole thing. Then depending on where you are, you'll be me for consultants and all that. So that's the scope of medical training.
The area conditions of service. What is here a teacher for not for eating como? What conditions of service to say?
So I'm also say some could do como.
Okay.
But yeah, train so kakra. I tell a fee starting komodi no. Any aban be did como. So condition of service. And you know it's funny say whenever we start talking about na sikasem. You know, it's not just the monetary aspect. It's the whole what regulates the whole working environment.
Okay.
It do time be a doctor. Uye juma and in the same hospital that you are working, you can't afford it. We have to enforce it. You can't say your cost be a attempt on this condition of service. Na radio so crack I say condition of service. So it was telling where we're coming from. So it was in that document we insisted that our employer should be responsible for our health. I say the Yarena Meko hospital, the employer is supposed to take off. We didn't have it. But now it is there. But no no say you say implementation, how to implement it. In the anunti because say better na say paying for an employer and share. No. So even with amongst ourselves, we've created a mutual health fund as Ghana Medical Association. Say phobia omo here some level of care. Of course, say you can't care now and malaria, pararia, at a certain point, if you are cancer treatment, we are fine. You do a betron. No matter how much you are earning, a betron. If we also hear some surgical expertise which may not even be available in the country. Who sponsors it? So so we took it upon ourselves. We crafted a mutual health fund so that we can take care of our own members.
Okay.
Here that level of care now. Otherwise we just be losing members, and we've had some members benefiting, have cancer care, and I'm happy that that's on the side. And they also took a bold step by acquiring Sweden Ghana Medical Center in Accra, taking care of cancer patients. And after that's for the income generation. After teaching you or me sure so kind teaching if you need cancer treatment, you can boldly go there and you are covered.
Okay. Because
of some of these initiatives. So the conditional service need there. Me the monetary aspect in quite the who here me is the case. See how him say more confanoche if maybe a worker at KNUST or back on Fanoche, the university caters for them.
Yeah.
Caters for their spouses, caters for their children up to age 18. I don't
know more goal system be or why. Yes. The way they are operating it, you know.
Yes.
So
I'm happy he mentioned this net. We also realized, so you see, what another thing that we also did was that we introduced another tier 3 pension scheme for doctors.
That's a provident fund. Though.
Yes, to contribute to it. Because who do any toast nets so they are with this system, no? What I say, I said, you didn't go anywhere. So these are some of the interventions that we are doing. And also with the conditions of service, we introduced something, rural incentive and deprived areas incentive. Maybe to come say, obi we chire bi wo hwa ofaka be miensan so abakrum. Can you imagine say meni we jan nebusuan nebusuan ne yere ne mma e okuma say was kwase ekura bi ese. He's also giving care. there should be some allowance be to bridge it, so that he will not feel cheated in quote by the system, because he doesn't have access to amenities. I have doctors who have been chased out of certain areas because of the local climate. People are saying, hey, where do you say? What? These are some of the things. How are we crafting those areas to make it attractive? Now I'm saying Health Minister Bekan say they only be portals, doctors need be almost
no say you know idea here pa you need doctors, you are training doctors, but baby a vacancy no doctor be am person obeko will be happy Kumasi Accra because hana ne mabeko school papa obetwa locum and yeah the don't know senate mo as association.
Yes,
the minister na say doctors 1% push mako the private areas.
So I'm happy that I think let's talk about this one. In the funny say we obiaba we posting to Ichiri. Maybe I don't want to pinpoint any place. There's not to Ichiri. Obefi Kumasi na. One okon oni mobia ho. He has no idea. Sometimes you don't even have an idea where you are going. What is this? I know you're two regional health directorate. Now regional health also have to district health. Two could do district and you say, say baby how can not to so two could do how I could do it. Say we try to
national service time. Who could do district near Chiro baby? Yes.
So the person thinks, okay, say it's not Kumasi, and there are some people who have rejected this. Or to Kumasi with employment prefers to work in the private sector and or share the money that you get. The person feels that I'm is better than going to stay somewhere that you don't know. And then realize another thing that we are also not talking about is that most of these self-sponsor their own medical education. Yeah, or call all bar school. You say regular nasa because regular no, yes, fee paying.
Say regular is on kakrebi. No,
fee paying. Until the bush and the papa na or say no PS go no. Or man or say or man the banning court niche na most who feel na no na who will take care of him? Because sometimes it's because of how our system is. I said yeah, me so me papa answer the rural hospital. The reception is different, and I think it's just human nature.
Yeah,
there is some basic courtesy that everybody gets, but there are some other doors that open because members on inside. So my father want to also benefit from that. So sometimes all these, and there's that first now you can't say that. Kakri bina who are regular, it's still subsidized, but Kakri bina irregular. What happens to the fee paying ones? The person wants to me and I'm shame, so you can't to me, baby. I'm a pen. That's why a lot of people are staying in the big cities. A lot of people are also traveling outside. There are some people who are just people look cannot church on the exams. By the time or didn't need corporate portals, by the time no. So it's happening, and some of the district health. I'm happy minister took them on because you've asked someone say member have vacated post so you see yeah post too so could do district health and yes hospital way but could do hospital okay who could tell your main now I know some who got there with the yes say any accommodation ma wo need dime be amount so there here be from. That's one of the major problems. So minister put them on the spot. Say, any HR, you don't make all those arrangements, and you call whoever to come. But yeah, no will be duty personally, and it has brought some sanity into the system because at least so that for a while when the person gets the right grounding. Then you can when you be ground after whether you can get your own place so that place a new person can also come. It's reasonable. But when they do why the haste?
More hypocritic of I must swear no. What does it say?
And it can be brave. It can be brave. It can be, but the end of the woman says that my colleague shall be my brother.
Okay.
And I know is that they are DB Adama Kumaso. Intimi who my colleague are. What if any assistance? I bend over backwards to serve my colleague. Okay. The original, it has undergone modifications. When what I saw, I now more kind hypocritical on our side. Sometimes we laugh because the original one, no, okay, and the Hippocrates Nankasa Troy. There's a part. So what we swear when we admit is the physician's oath.
Okay.
As a modern, I'll try and get you a copy. But Hippocratic at a point he even states that say who treat you be because make sure you are treating the person when make sure you are taking your due when everything is so bad, because at that point it's two things: either say be ya nenye or China nye ya waboka one could dim. That's the original Hippocratic oath. So yeah, so I mean there are a lot of them, but you want to give care to everyone. You want to give care to the utmost care to everyone who comes under your care. You also, and all this is not your detrimental, because you need to be optimum. There are times that you are so drained that you need to step back. So I like the part Anamo cancer about leave and all that. You have to step back and rejuvenate so that you can give up your best. It has happened to me. You write something, then you have to cancel it because you know after. So you're wondering why you wrote that. You're not thinking straight. So it's very, very, very important.
Yeah. Doctor to patient ratio. Ghana, we are seeing Ghana. They say from pa. Most of them person will be called hinterland. The people can say, "Good, what we school no." He be out there call. Look, you be fear me no me and son now prayer be krumwa. Now we are no so about for fraud. Said okay, said they be there shouldn't be a vacancy no. Now be a we no be a say hoarding. Yen kodia. I just say, omo so ka home be as you omo free.
No correct. So the Ghana Medical Association developed a framework, very pretty framework. Say, let's have a rotational system. Into say memu kumasi mewaha. I can go and spend. School. I mean, your man no son. Maybe worry which me I could travel 2 years. Then come back. Then someone also go and replace. I mean, it's this actually human resource management. So a real total plan. We gave the blueprint. The problem is that obi kwa na fe all free hono. Na fe ye manenko. Obi ape obeso oko school. Ekusunya de beka ho na oba yemanenko okoma yemanenko you. So it was a huge mess. So people will now so this se me kwa yemamema but metina kuma say there for instance metina confirmation me time so na person me specialize I say na mete so it's easier but me continue chire bi na me ba they are looking at say and you'll be a man, and then I can't catch you say, and a woke up will be bra. You're not a human. So you see, there should be those pull factors. We talk amongst ourselves. There are certain smart. I talked about some remuneration for Obi Okotna Ichiri. Fans will be say, maybe many top up. Maybe everyone say, maybe 1,000 cities. And I say, oh, yes, say, which some people do. These are all pull factors. Because okay, after no say, opeso boabo pudo be the bobra. But if some of these things, because say, Obaha, allowance cry, they are in arrears for bare 1 year. Attract you be a member. So all these things, if there is a well thought out structure backed by the ministry, doctors will be more than happy to visit all these 2 years then another person goes, and it even exposes us because there's nothing like working in the hinterlands. It also improves your leadership acumen. To me improvise. Which you wouldn't get in the big cities. So it helps, and you learn how to deal with different levels of people. And also improves your empathy, because we do all being into my back. I crash coins cry no go okitane board here 2 years say won share bibi crash about there no because so busy you are. So it's all these things, you learn all these things. So we have never been against it, but sometimes it's there on the other side. Of course, there are some people who of the FNSA nuts in any kind. There are some, we always have some bad nuts, but generally we have never been against going to internats. Most of us, or 1 year 5, then we came back.
Yeah, we are buying general conditions. So said that bed my force here or what the doctor for what the eto generally now face specifically who say.
So I think there's still more that needs to be done. There's still more.
There's more market to your mood, mojo for allowance.
Yes, it's our due. So what I say, you take now offer. Obi here Sakra. But you see, you look at, there are certain things that which come into consideration. You look at the how essential the person is to the in the grand scheme of things and how everything is flowing. That's number one. You also look at the output. You can't have any health you can't have a hospital without a doctor. And yeah, you can quote me anywhere. There are reasons why I always say there are reasons for because or call hospital say because who doctor. Because you can go. Someone may even write to be on a bit whatever. You will need a doctor. Because by virtue of our training, we have been taught and we've learned how to listen to your story, see what the possible issues are, see what the possible investigations that need to be done.
Sure.
That's why I recommend the treatment amount. That's how our training is. So, because of I think and doctors, we were just a little over 5,000 doctors in Ghana, in the whole country, in the public sector.
I see.
Very, very small number, but now that was when there were just 2 medical schools. Just University of Ghana and University. Now there are about 5 public medical schools. Apart from the original 2, you have one in Cape Coast, you have in Tamale, and you have in Ho. So we have 5, and also you have the private medical schools also. Maybe about 3 or so or more, even in Accra. Private medical schools. And you also have our brothers and sisters who trained outside, they've been to China, Ukraine, they've come back. So I mean, the base is increasing. So what should be done is that they should have a way to integrate them into the system. See how we can be able to now our doctor-patient ratio. We can better it. We are all holding hands to make it better. To me, now, and these doctors are also sitting at home. Whilst we need their services.
Talking about doctors, Sophie, see, me a teachers today. Most of the apart from doctors, more nurses,
yes.
Yes. Is it affecting healthcare? Particularly more hospitals.
Yes, very much. And so these are people who are here to enter. The people who are also leaving. Over the past 2-3 years, they had a massive drain of, especially in experienced nurses, going. So a unit here, with very specialized units, nurses have gone through some extra training to man some unit, like the intensive care, like say a dialysis center. So there is a gap. How I so yes, try the my adults maybe more so. So all these things are issues. How are we bringing them? All these people, how are we bringing them on board? Everybody says, and there's a huge wage gap, there's a government wage bill is huge and all that. But I like what he mentioned about the Article 71 holders. It's sometimes, you see, it's not, maybe almost salaries is at the that thing can solve a lot of issues. We really hope that government would fulfill that promise of looking at that. Bring them all on a single spine. Say government workers. Let's all be on that spine. We'll be a level of spine. So I think that it will benefit. You will be able to account for how much really each worker is taking. I think so.
Right. Said now okay. adwumayɛfoɔ asɛm no ne ka no ɛden ebrebi a ɔka abaye se sika ɛna ɛni hɔ mo amwo apomden aso mu no etire bi a na abaye so expect sɛ obɛyɛ adwuma ne yɛti sɛ kɔmfo ano kye sɛ obɛtumi a generate sika na mo de aboa ba nye bibia na mo twɛn abaye ye ofidie bi wɔ hɔ a obi a bɛba kɔmfo ano kye koraa no ɛnyɛ adwuma yi sɛ ɔkɔ private man hɔ ɛna ɔkutwa saa ayi no na odi aba. Are you also doing your work well? So doctors will be a buy 4-5 hours per locum. Business has productivity is awful.
Yes. So it's a big problem. It's a big problem, I must say. So someone said that government is pretending to pay.
Yeah.
So workers are pretending to work.
Yeah. Former President go for the kai.
Okay. And I'm happy that you have rightly attributed the quote. So what is two things? If everything that whoever needs to work with is around, that person, you always want to compare to what happens outside. When you have everything at your disposal, then a thing appears. So you don't have an excuse. But now in our system, we've given so much excuses. Anyway. So people are also using those excuses to try and also find their own level. It's not the right thing. If, for instance, you are being paid by the hour, if you are doing 6 hours, whoever is supervising you should make sure you are doing 6. You should do 6 hours.
Yeah.
But funny enough, most health, for us as doctors, we it's not really timed as a number of hours. For me personally, I see patients who have been given to me. So this may involve patients on outpatient basis. That's me sure more because clinic sure more. Also, me has me go theater cooperate on them. Me has me ward rounds. More sure more may follow up so that I can follow up on their care.
Yeah.
I have some other specialized clinics that I run into the week. I have every day I have something that I do in the hospital.
Okay.
And it's not timed. It's who we are now. So it's if government is going to introduce hourly payment, it will make people set up. And it's by monitoring.
Yeah.
If what the policy but the monitoring is not the best, people will find people there. Once I will create quanky to no people. But if, for instance, you clock in, say 8 o'clock, you're supposed to do 6 hours, and at that time, so throughout our hospital, whatever you are doing, someone is monitoring. In to me, as 8 o'clock, someone is monitoring to see your output, and there are various ways to monitor that output to see what kind of clinical work you are doing. So at the end of a week, they can pull up a spreadsheet, what you did every single minute I spent in the hospital, and that is based on that. That's how you be paid. I've always been a champion of paying everybody according to what you do. All doctors are paid the same, which I disagree with. I have said it everywhere I find myself that I disagree to that. We should be paid according to our output. For instance, if I may train say me tinipatia me to me the so in the whole week and try by no pen to meet me about hope. But that skill is so specialized that
no
to the whole Ghana I find a hoping me. Now say wiki be abeka say $1 million because of what I'll make sure that every week I'll do one. Say me to me more na me to me more be another $1 million. Okay, I'll increase my output.
Okay.
And that's my specialty. But if say who the man so say okay, Obama say Obama 1,000 cedis. No being so bad. Why should I worry myself and go through all that stress for us to be paid the same? And my personal opinion also on this is that it should be structured in a way that the facility also absorb some of the wages. So maybe government can pay a basic for everybody. Now pay facility they share all output. I think that would be better because it will be difficult for government to monitor your output from Accra. Or even from regional health or something. It's the facilities. Facility they share. Oh, okay. Offer yeah, his output is generating more revenue, so offer should be paid more. Okay, he should be paid less. I can if I want to be paid more, and then I will generate more.
Yeah.
So that is at the facility level. I think this can easily be done. It takes the willpower, it takes efficiency, it takes monitoring. It's doable.
Me didn't not in the Karo say single spine, no saka more health workers and teachers. Yeah, don't want marketing in every so.
We agree. I mean, for the single spine, I think now we've all called for a review, and I'm happy that I think about a month ago, President Mahama inaugurated. He said a committee to relook the single spine, trying to design a new salary structure that will capture all government workers, including civil servants, including those in the ministries who have been brought in, for politicians who have come on board. I welcome that. We've all said it should be reviewed. At a certain point, you can't climb again.
Okay.
Although you may have gained extra knowledge, although you may be you can't climb. You can't climb. I think at Amud director level at 24L or something. I'm not very certain. 24L. Udru no matter which me market time for over 10 years. Which is not fair. Once you are progressing, I mean it should be commensurate. So that should be looked at. I think that at that time most starting, maybe they didn't envisage that we drew or something, but room should have been created for add-ons. So everything, I think the whole thing should be reviewed. I agree.
Okay. Say edumay for ka aban eka say montro mo hawo nyina na mede emfabra mo a ene ma be mienu miensa be pa nanka hia pa be ka tra bai so onyama Ghana edumay for.
Okay. So edumay for, let me just start because I'm in health. Is that so concerning postings, arrears, which have been a headache, there should be clear timelines. Or the two jar, and everybody can hold that. Just a set. When you are going to school, you would post it. These are the time periods. And yes, we could chase Kibiamobi. And so now you're not to Hana. Everything is clear. And when you have that very clear HR rotational policy, you see, everything is equitable. Then Ubia Nakuma Tuniyim say, oh, me time beba, I'll wait instead of us crowding the system. For career progression, we should have a very structured pathway.
Okay.
So that is very, very clear. Me say, okay, after 2 years, I will do this. If I get any additional knowledge and I come on board, I also do this. Very, very clear. And finally, we should have a financial model that is sustainable. One of our issues mainly in health is procurement. Gadgets, instruments, equipment, these are often expensive. But if our procurement side now, most of these costs triple or quadruple just because of how our procurement policy is. But on the market, something which should have costed, let's say, 100 cedis, a bag way and then number 2,000, which doesn't make sense. That thing should be looked at. It will cut down on the cost, because
minimum say it drew me a ton of $1,000.
Yes.
I buy the map procurement to say and Kotomra it's $5,000.
Yes.
Bear 5 times the value. And we have those in the system.
Yes. It should be looked at. It should be looked at. We should apply common sense to some of these things. If I say you just follow the law, of course, and people have been sent to court, people have been sent to Auditor General to go and respond, even Public Accounts Committee, because they thought they were doing the right thing. At the way, a job me 1,000, a bad procurement 5,000. Okay, and mommy could do Mokotombra, say, and I shall buy Matumra. So people will now become. There's no incentive, and no be so procurement also this. and you see, when we lose that sense of patriotism, the whole system falls apart. So in a nutshell, I want to call on government that you see, as Mayday, we are the workers. We are part of the system.
Yeah.
But government should also, if government wants better healthcare, then the health workers should be treated better. The worker, the general worker, or the Ghanaian worker should be taken care of. And then the worker will also take care of the nation. I think that should summarize everything. The worker should be taken care of, and the worker will take care of the nation.
Doc, and I see the Obra Gyamfi pay. You say empenifo 80. The year be boamo ama so matimi aye adwuma pa som ye no. Ghana by 200 meboa. Ya da CP se ne obae.
Must be that.
Right. It was for they see